Alright guys, do you use Gumroad? I've used Gumroad. I've bought dozens and dozens and dozens of brushes off there. And you know that the platform has a lot of indie creators on there that sell their products, ebooks, music, courses, you name it. Well, they just went open source for their platform. Sort of, but not really. Kinda. So, over the weekend, Gumroad announced that they were going to be making their code available to the public. They called it a step forward, empowering creators with tools that they can self-host and customize. Sounds good, but here's where things get a little bit, a little bit fucky-wucky. So they're using a custom license, which means that you can't actually use their code however you want. And it's only for free for small businesses making under $1 million a year. And a few hand-picked groups like nonprofits and some government agency. Everyone else, you better get your money ready, because if you have one good year, that is it. You're going to have to pay that fee. And there's also issues when it comes to the leadership that's like going almost completely unnoticed. And it's like on the very day that the news was announced. Now, one of the problems is that apparently the platform changed its rules for when you can email end users, which I guess is annoying but understandable. And a significant more problem is that they seem to have replaced their customer support with chatbots. And like if you go to see if you can go talk to somebody, you'll finally get somewhere, and then it will always just be a chatbot. Like, why is that the only option for a website? I've seen so many websites that have like almost no support, and their only support is a chatbot. Do you understand that like those things work like shit? They're terrible. They're just not good at communicating like you think they are. And like additionally, the open source licensing thing, it's not exactly true. It's more of a source available, which limits your control to use it after you've hit a certain threshold. It's kind of like not unheard of. This kind of license is being used by companies to lean itself into self-hosting without losing any of their money. I'm going to go over this, one little part where it says that not purely open source, but it throws FOSS folks a bone by making it so that versions of the software that are more than 3 years old revert to general public license. And this is how Gumroad has it in their TOS thing. It says, you may use the software under this license only if one, your company has less than $1 million USD total revenue in a prior tax year and less than $10 million USD gross merchandise value, or 2, you are a nonprofit organization, government entity. Adjust the revenue threshold, inflation according to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index for urban consumers, U.S. city average for all items, not seasonally, 1982 minus 1984 equals 100, base reference. If you are a company that exceeds either of these limits, 1, your license end, and you may contact the licensor to discuss an alternate license. And that's kind of what I said before. If you have one good year, you're stuck paying a crazy fee. So this is also a problem right here. Inside Doge's AI push at the Department of Veteran Affairs. So we're going to look at some things, because the same day, right here, it says April 4th, that Gumroad announced that it was open source. Oh, look what we have here. Let's look right now. Look at this, right? It's in this article that we find that the CEO of Gumroad is present right here. Sahil Lavingia. Oh my goodness. All right, it's Lavingia, I guess. A newcomer to the agency listed as the VA's internal directory as an advisor of chief of staff. What's that? Look at that. It says right here that Lavingia is the CEO of Gumroad, a platform to help creatives sell their work and takes a cut of each sale. More recently, according to his blog, Lavingia launched Flexel, a tool to manage and pay contractors. So, why is this a problem? This person is known for their extreme tech-leaning approach, automating everything, minimal staffing, and open source platforms like Gumroad. That's what it's trying to do. The mindset can work with smaller startups, but this is a huge risk for the Department of Veteran Affairs. This has protected health and financial data of millions of veterans, life and death healthcare systems, everything. Trying to digitize everything or push experimental tools into these systems without vetting shows a huge misunderstanding for the stakes. This person is fucking stupid. You can't apply the same openness with Gumroad to the federal government infrastructure, especially once it houses sensitive veteran data. Like, open source was not meant for federal use. It can create data leaks, and it's like, especially with AI tools that can browse, modify, and pull AI API data, that's fucking ridiculous. And this guy, like, he laid off almost all of his staff in 2015, cutting every corner and cost possible and automated nearly everything. Because he wants to see AI replacing humans, like all human labor. Like, you just can't have that in a federal space. You just need people. You need people there. You need people to talk to there, especially because, like, veterans have so many issues going on. I feel like they're all different. You can't just make AI do it. Because, like, with the Wired article, reported that he, like, brushed off serious concerns from the VA staff and pushed potentially non-compliant changes, you know, kind of like the X rebranding. And it's just clear that he's behaving more like starting up another Gumroad than an actual government person. So, like, then you get to this point where it's like you combine Elon Musk's, like, desire to shrink the federal, like, space, Lavingia's automate everything, and using experimental, unapproved AI tools in a very critical agency. It's not good. Like, when The Wired asked him, you know, about his work at Dodge, he goes, "Sorry, I'm not going to answer these. Besides, I'm unpaid and a fan of your work." And do you know why he has all this free time? Simple. As the piece notes, he achieved financial stability with Gumroad by replacing all of its employees with automation. Hence why you can't get any damn support on the website. Which I have a feeling that's what he wants to do with the VA, which is fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. And I feel like if you use Gumroad, which, you know, it fucking sucks because I actually like Gumroad. And if you have, like, some idea on, you know what, I'm gonna do some quick research on alternatives to Gumroad. Alright, I've come back, and I have two alternatives that I looked up. One is Czechia, the #1 Gumroad alternative, and the other is PayHip, which it's very similar with lower fees. So I wanted to just at least have something to offer you guys before I get off of here. But there's a lot of different ones you could try. I'm going to make a pinned comment at the end of the video. Well, not the end of the video, but the bottom. If you guys have experiences with something, feel free to leave it there or make a comment about where you sell any of your goods. So, because I've been thinking of making a Gumroad, but if I'm not going to make a Gumroad if it's going to be like that, because I want to sell my brushes and, like, my PDF and my comic stuff. I want to sell all that, but I don't want to put it on Gumroad because the person who's running it is a piece of shit. So, but I thought this was really important for you guys to know this week. It was the first thing I saw this morning. It's like 4 a.m. right now for me? 2 a.m. for me. And I just saw this and I was like, damn, I gotta put this on my channel. But if this helps you guys out, feel free to subscribe to me. I put out videos once a week, or I try to. And I'm trying to get verified over on VIII if you'd like to help me out. I do line art flats for $12. It's pretty easy. Also, I do overlook world building for one part of your world for $7 if you'd like me to do that. And if you'd like to support the channel, get some stuff of my high-res art, some of my blogging, some other stuff. There's a list of there on my Patreon. That's another way that you can support my channel. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Catch you later.